go. It's been a while. We've been busy the past few weeks, but welcome to another episode of Double XP. It is me, Logan, and I'm joined by Danny here. Danny, how is your week going so far?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's been a solid week. I actually did a lot of gaming this weekend. I didn't really do much. I just stayed home and just got some drinks and played some games. It was a wonderful weekend. Finally got to be home. I'm usually like out of town all weekend, so it's been a great experience to just.
Every now and then I try to have one of those moments where, you know, it's been a couple weeks or a couple months and you just want to like close the blinds, lock the door, turn off your phone.
Oh yeah.
I need like a good 10 hours of just gaming.
Just cave it up.
And like, well, I was able to get a couple of those in this past weekend, and there were times where, like, you know, it was Saturday at noon, and my girlfriend's walking around, she looks at me, and she's like, "Really? You still playing?" And I'm like, my poor girlfriend.
That's why I'm
she
single.
Doesn't know me.
That's why I'm single.
And yeah, I've really been very apprehensive and kind of revealing or coming out of the closet as a gamer to my girlfriend. Like, yeah, I was homeschooled. I played for 10 hours at a time. This is normal for me. I hope this doesn't. I should have said this like 2 years ago when we started dating.
No,
but
you
now,
never
like, really?
say that.
I gotta deal with this.
That's something you keep deep inside, and they will find out on their own, and they will figure out if they want to stay or not, and deal with this shit.
They'll just kill you. They'll just kill you. Anyway, so what game did you play this weekend?
Oh, I played not only.
We're being so coy about it.
I know.
We know. We're just trying it for the podcast.
But okay, so I played The Outer Worlds all weekend.
For people who listen to this podcast, we've only had a couple episodes, and what was the first one was with Outer Wilds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I honestly, when I talk about this game, The Outer Worlds, completely different game, it's almost like two people showing up to the party with the same outfit. They're like, well, one of us has got to change, you know.
And you know what?
And they just like, nah, we're just gonna stick with it.
You know what? And I make it a point that we're gonna play every game with the word "outer" on it from here on out.
Absolutely. I mean, it hasn't failed us yet so far.
Yeah.
But we haven't even gotten into it yet. So I this past weekend I just got a nicer video card, and I was like, I had like my whole burning in my pocket, and I was like, okay, where can I need to get this game, you know, it's on the Epic Store. And then I also found that The Outer Wilds is also available on the Xbox Game Pass for PC. And right now, it's currently in beta, so normally it would be $9.99 a month, $9.99, and you would have access to the entire subscription catalog of Xbox games. Because it's in beta, it's $4.99. So this $60 game, what I did is I subscribed. I paid $4.99. I downloaded Gears of War 5, Dead by Daylight, and The Outer Worlds was in one of them. And I think I absolutely got $5 worth of gaming done this weekend. But getting into more specifically The Outer Worlds. Did I say The Outer Wilds? I think I said it again.
You didn't.
I feel like I just said it again.
No. You're good.
So The Outer Worlds is a game that's kind of unique because it's done by Obsidian Entertainment. Have you ever played any other games by Obsidian?
Just Fallout New Vegas. That was them, right?
Have you ever played Knights of the Old Republic?
Oh yeah, they did that too?
They did the second one.
Oh, okay.
So the first one came out, and there was that big, and then the second one came out. And man, if you have some time, go to the Wikipedia page, because you can really hold on. I think my microphone's even backwards. No, we're good. Little paranoia. Sorry. If you go to the Wikipedia page, there's so much just information about the game, and like there was so much cut from this game, but also even when you see like they kind of outline the development process, and for example, I like Knights of the Old Republic 2. I thought the writing was really, really strong. Obsidian has probably some of the better writers I've ever seen in video games, but the problem is that because of timelines and the publisher and stuff like that, they had to really cut a lot of the game. They were going to have an entire planet for droids in the Knights of the Old Republic 2, which I don't think you've ever seen anywhere else in Star Wars. I can imagine an entire, like, Like you've seen
Yeah,
that
I've never seen it.
an entire race of machines in Mass Effect and stuff, but that was something that was cut from the game that I saw today. I was like, oh, anyway. I've really liked Obsidian. So the story behind Obsidian is that years ago there was a game company called Interplay. Interplay came out with the first 2 Fallouts, Tim Kaine and I keep forgetting his last name because he's Russian.
Starts with a B.
Leonard Boyarsky.
Yeah.
And so these guys were in the Interplay video game company, and they released these 2 games, and then one thing happens I don't know what actually happens, but eventually Bethesda owns the rights to Fallout. And then, Bethesda's making Fallout 76 and then Fallout
Fallout 3,
Fallout
4.
3, Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Then when Fallout...
You skipped the good ones.
So I totally skipped the good ones. I went right
straight to 76.
Well, what I was trying to say is that when Obsidian, then when they created their own company, the first game was Knights of the Republic 2. Then there was Neverwinter Nights 2. They were a small
so they like these
studio.
more like D&D-esque kind of games.
And
which
then
is pretty dope.
the next game after that was then Fallout New Vegas, which there's actually memes on YouTube showing videos between comparing Bethesda and Obsidian writing, where they'll show a video of a Fallout 3 clip and you'll hear guys writing in the dialogue how goofy it is, and then you'll see a Fallout 2 clip that Interplay did.
The New Vegas one?
Or then you also see
Fallout
New
2.
Vegas
Okay.
with Obsidian, and then you'll see an Interplay where you see the difference in writers and stuff, and it's really insinuating that Obsidian is really, when it comes to dialogue, they really go in depth and in detail with characters and stuff like that. And that's something that I specifically saw in the Outer Worlds. But moving more into the game, just right, so you... How many hours have you put into the game so far?
I think I've put like 25, 30.
Jesus. Okay, I've only
Maybe.
put like 16 in, and okay, so you have wow.
Maybe.
But like as a game, okay, so you've seen pretty much what the game has to show. And so on your just initial thoughts, but without going into detail of the different like domains of video games and how breaking down the game, just walking away after 25 or 26 hours, how do you feel about the game?
Gosh, I feel like it was really fun, but over way too quick.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm glad. Okay, because I like right when I started playing this game, you like what really kind of blows me away is that this game wasn't really advertised. I didn't really see this anywhere, but when you
other than like E3 trailers and stuff like that.
And then I'll see an article on Kotaku or Polygon talking about it. I'm like, what the hell is this thing?
Yeah.
And then getting into it, the first like hour, you're like, this is gonna be an awesome game, and I really I don't know. Right in the beginning, you start to hype it up because you start to see, okay, so you just start to get a feel for the range, for the boot size.
Well, I feel like we should go through it from the beginning, So like what was your first expectation from the videos you saw? Like what were you expecting when you started wanting to play this game?
Actually, it's going to be one of my beefs in the game. But like when I saw like a gameplay video and you see the dialogue, and the way the dialogue works in this game is very, very similar to Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, where the characters perfectly square on screen talking to you, and then you have the dialogue options.
Yeah.
And once I saw that like in a gameplay, I'm like, oh, that's Fallout 4. Not Fallout 4. That's Fallout New Vegas or Fallout 3 or that style. And I'm like, I loved those games, so I made it. Let's check it out. And then once I saw that Obsidian was the developer behind it, I was like, oh, okay. So it probably
you already knew about the writing and stuff like that.
I assumed I was like, okay, I really like Obsidian as a developer, and I their previous game, and you see this thing, and it almost looks like the first hour as I'm playing this game, it felt like a total conversion mod for Fallout New Vegas.
Raspberry White Claw is very good.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's see. What we got here.
That was a good sip.
It's got a
a paid ad, by the way, but
got,
if you guys want to pay us, then that'd be great.
It's got antioxidants. It helps you Or is that cranberry? Never mind. I was thinking cranberry. Like it has.
Sure, all
it's
the
good
berries
for,
have something.
It's good for your
dope
kidneys.
for you know.
But yeah. I'm drinking Claw. Going. Oh, it's good for my kidneys. No, it's not. It's not. It's not good for my kidneys. It's bad for my kidneys.
It's bad for the kid and the knees.
But yeah, like this game feels. And it sounds like I'm insulting it, and I'm not. I'm saying this game sounds like a total conversion mod for Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas. And
yeah, but you didn't
love that.
But that's what you were expecting it to be when you first saw the video. Is that what? Like
when I saw the video, and then when I would see, like I think some headline saying The Outer Worlds is basically Fallout 3 in space or something like that.
That's what you think, or that's what you saw?
And well, that's what I saw, and that's what kind of got me into it. And when I started playing it, I can absolutely see the similarities, and it at the very core, like the way when I play a game, I kind of also think about the programming of what goes into it, and you know how the logic of how things work in a game, certain trigger points and stuff.
Yeah. And
it seemed like, I don't know what engine. I think it was just running Unreal, but it seemed like the core of the game was still very much. I mean, it was almost identical to Fallout structure, Knights of the Old Republic structure. You land at a ship and then you leave your ship, and every single area was another loading point. Yeah, it's not like they're not trying to be open world with everything, but you know, you go to this door, you press X, and then you have like a 10-second loading screen, and then you're in a new area. That's really, really old school. Like a lot of games are going away from that, but I didn't mind it at all in this because like. I don't know. I was so comfortable with it.
Yeah, there was some familiarity to it. But for me personally, like when I was looking forward to... When I saw this game, I thought, finally, a game that... Because Fallout 3, 4, and Skyrim's like one of my favorite... Morrowind. Not really. I didn't play Oblivion that much. But those games are like my favorite games of all time. So when I saw this game, I was like... It's about time we got another game like this. Yeah. Like, I am ready.
That's not a sequel.
I was ready. I'm like, I will throw $60 at this because this is what I've been waiting for.
Yeah, I was willing to buy this for $60.
And then you showed me the Xbox beta pass, and actually when I signed up, it was only $1 because it was like some special that night.
You could either get a Subway footlong, or you get a nice
like 100 games to play, and I was like. This is a lot. What, Gears 5?
Yeah, and I was like, I clicked. It said install, Worlds? And it clicked, and then it said downloading, and I was like, wait a second, whoa, I already have this. Like that. Yeah, I highly recommend it so far. Now at the end of the month when I get charged, I might like cancel it. But
yeah, right.
We got to get as much gaming as
I've been paying for Planet Fitness for over a year, and I haven't gone. I think I'm okay with Beta Pass being there too for $10 a month.
You know, if only Planet Fitness had like game consoles on the treadmills.
Oh, dude,
I would
VR on the treadmill.
Yeah, dude. Well, I don't know. People would abuse that. You know, that guy's getting a blowjob. Yeah, I know that guy. You can just tell. You can tell by walking.
You can tell by his erection. Nobody jogs with an erection.
It's like,
I mean, nobody besides me.
So, in terms of like maybe breaking this down more into so your expectations going in. So did this game meet your expectations?
Well, let's not go straight into that yet.
Okay.
Let's go into how the game unfolds. Okay, character creation, right? How'd you feel like modeling your character?
What was the point of that?
It's how you look.
No, but like. After the first hour, I found a cool set of armor, and I didn't see myself for the rest of the game.
Is there a third-person mode in this game?
I don't think so.
I didn't even check.
I don't think so.
But sometimes when you leave it idle, it does that like Fallout and Skyrim thing where it starts to rotate around you.
I was like, oh, that's cool.
And you just feel like Xena. It's just like dun 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 dun.
The problem is you don't want really one of the cool parts of your game to be like. You know what? What's really cool is when you don't play it.
Yeah.
That's what's raw. You know, like.
Want to see something tight? Don't play for a minute, and it just starts rotating around you, and you're just there standing. Just.
And this is something about, and this game is very, very similar to, Mass Effect, because I think some people on the Knights of the Old Republic. I don't know. What I like to do is I like to follow certain developers around, you know, because sometimes you'll
stalk them.
No, I don't stalk them, but
follow them around.
like for example, when you see certain a lot of game developers are on Twitter and stuff like that, and you can follow them, and they'll, you know, when you see like for example a game studio kind of close, all of those people end up someplace else. And if and sometimes I like to follow certain I forgot where I was even going with this.
I have no idea. Do you really think they all get jobs?
But
or you got a couple
what
of
I was saying
homeless game developers?
Is that what I was trying to tie into is that if you were to tell me that there were some people who worked on Knights of the Old Republic that ended up working on Mass Effect that somehow contributed either to this or to somewhat of the concept or the design or something, I would say, oh, it makes perfect sense. And a lot of times I compare this game a lot to Mass Effect, not just because it's a space kind of, it's trying to be this whole new space universe kind of original
planets,
story,
Yeah.
So it's naturally it's going to compare to Mass Effect everywhere. But one thing about Mass Effect that I liked is sometimes I would see my character, like you would see Shepard actually say the line that I wanted to say or something.
Oh, got it. So that's how this ties into the character creation.
And
like
so
you would
if
like
I had
to
a
see
character,
your character
I would have liked to see
saying
my character, with his big chin, go, "Hey, no, the Buster" or something, or like how many snarky lines you see, and you're like, oh, that's hilarious. You click it, and then suddenly
and then
goes,
you
"Hey,
see
fuck
your guy
you,"
doing
and you're like,
it.
you don't see your character doing it. That would really
that would be
cool.
sweet. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because you should at least be able to pick. I think, what was it? Was it in Mass Effect where you could choose your voice? Where you have your voice, you could choose, hey. You could choose your voice.
I don't know. Was that the third one? That wasn't the first one.
There was a game where you could
only
choose
played the first
your
one,
tone.
so I don't know.
Or maybe it's The Sims. There's a character creator where you can choose your voice
Sims.
in.
Wow.
Where he's like, you turn it up and down. And no, there was a like
they don't even speak English.
when I played Mass Effect, I played the original, the standard Shepard, but I know that there were alternative, and you could even play as a girl.
Were there? I thought it was just female and male. That's it.
Well, it's female and male, but then you could customize it. But then they had a regular Shepard who was the original, like the design for him.
Yeah,
I didn't adjust him. I went off that in the main.
You didn't change his hair at least.
I didn't change anything.
You didn't change his hair. I
That
changed
was
his
me.
hair. I needed hair.
But for this one, I went nuts
Had
at
to get
it.
a nice do.
But besides that first spot.
Oh, so you like actually? Do you go in and like resize the brows and like space them and make the eyes?
Okay, this is probably one of my big beefs with the game is that I hate how we start with the beefs because it's like because if we go by the beefs by the end of this podcast it'll be like this game sucks, and I'm like, no, it doesn't suck. The game's terrific. But I spent a considerable amount of time. I spent a considerable amount of time.
Stop giving your opinion up front.
Okay.
Let's go.
We can break it down though.
Come
But
on.
I don't know. But here's the thing. If I could say I love the game, but then when I look back, I go, oh shit, yeah, I'm really ripping it apart. So sometimes
That's okay. You rip it apart because you love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you appreciate the art form.
Yeah.
But no, I spent a lot of time in the character creator, and then
yeah, like how long? How long do you think? How long were you adjusting the eyeballs?
Just 15
and
minutes.
pulling out the nose.
It wasn't crazy, but it was like
Did you put scars on your character?
Oh fuck yeah!
You put scars. What kind of scars
war
did you?
torn, dude.
Yeah?
He got attacked by a bear or one of those mantis things, claw across his face.
My guy looked like a pretty boy.
First off,
I
here's
had
another
like
thing.
white eyes.
No romantic options in this game.
Oh yeah.
Do you never realize that?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that was actually cut from this game.
Oh well, I thought I was hitting on freaking
that Pavlotti girl.
Yeah, I thought I was hitting on her. I was like,
she had the maturity of like a 12-year-old though. I mean, she was looking good, but I was
sounds like my perfect match. Maturity wise, not age wise. All right, maturity wise.
But no, like okay. So there was a point. Now that we're talking about this, there was a point when you start to get to know her a little bit, and then you run into that other engineer on the one space station, and she kind of has a crush on her.
Whoa.
You didn't talk about that?
No,
see,
because okay.
Also, here's a cool thing. Completely different stories for both of us.
Here's the thing. Should we go into it now or should we come back to it? Let's come back to it.
What did you want to? What was the thing about the choices? Or
no, here's the thing. I don't use companions.
Really?
I don't use. I'm a lone wolf. I don't use companions.
So they stayed on the ship the whole time?
Yeah, I didn't even. She was like, when I got to that point where you can have her join your crew, I was like, no thanks. I don't need anybody.
Whoa, dude!
Yeah, she was so bummed. She's like, I guess I'll just hang out
awesome.
in town. I was like, yeah, I don't need you.
And that makes me like the game
badass.
more because I forget I thought she was like the main kind of character that you would have with her, and you don't even have to have. Wow.
How do you feel about? So so you created your character. You spent all this time with the looks. So like, what kind of stats did you go for in the game?
I just gave him like
what kind of guy
wasn't
are
that
you?
much not diversity, but there wasn't much like you could do. You could make him pretty good at hacking, but you still had enough points to where you couldn't like.
No, but I mean right at the start. Like at the start, you have to.
It was
pick
still
two.
general. Oh, I did hacking and then weapons because I knew I.
But hacking is what, like lock picking and stuff, or is
stealth.
Oh, science stealth.
Stealth is, I forget.
Because stealth is sneak, hack, and lockpick.
Yeah, that's what. That's what
and
stealth.
then
I did stealth and guns.
And then I forget what tech is. Medical, engineering, and science.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did the hack one.
Okay, hack and what?
The
so
stealth.
You did.
In the beginning, you did all three of them in the beginning.
Yeah.
Until you get to
That's
50.
something I really liked about the game. How you can put the points and it'll level up all three until 50, and then you have to specialize in the three.
Yeah,
but
really
it'll
like
at least get you all three to 50 points.
I think
really
some
cool.
games can really get into the weeds when it comes to the skills and the perks and the traits and the phobia, and it's like, oh my god, just give me certain set of skills and then unique things about me. That's pretty much all I did.
But I love that. I love.
Well, no, I'm saying I like how simple it is. Some games really go nuts with it. And I'm like, I don't need to like, but I liked how.
So okay, so you did stealth, and then what else? What was the other one?
Just guns.
Guns, long like ranged weapons. So you didn't do melee.
No, I didn't do any melee.
I didn't do any melee at all either. I did the same thing. I did the stealth because I maxed out long guns and lock picking first, because nobody's gonna keep any treasure from me. I'm a motherfucking looter. All right,
dude.
If I go into your house, I'm taking everything I can. I'm taking the fucking shaving cream.
Dude.
I'm taking the.
I'm
taking
spamming
everything.
X.
Yeah, just fucking take it. You
know.
Oh, you played with controller.
Oh yeah, because
I played with keyboard and mouse.
See, because I've been getting to controller a lot more.
Okay.
Because more and more of these games are actually configured to where once you detects a controller, everything changed to buttons. You could see the button, and it played like I was playing PlayStation 4.
But my thing is, and this is kind of like moving away from what we're talking about, but my thing with controllers on PC, I feel for shooters, it's a little more like you move a little bit, and it's like very staccato. It's very stiff.
Controllers?
Yeah. It's not smooth. If you play it on Xbox or a console, it's more smooth. It's more fluid the way you're moving around. On PC, if you use a controller, it's.
Oh yeah, I think I mentioned that when I was streaming about how. Here's the thing. I don't know.
Keyboard and mouse, right where you want it. I could. All the perks on like weapon sway and stuff like that didn't matter with keyboard and mouse. I was just like, okay.
There's a whole perk with weapon sway because one thing I noted is that as you're playing the game, and probably the weak parts of the game are, I think, in the shooter elements, because it's definitely not a shooter meant to be just a shooter. It's more of an RPG kind of.
But I think since I played with keyboard and mouse, I didn't really feel that bad on the shooting. I just felt kind of awkward that I had to have my gun out all the time. I couldn't holster it. Yeah. Or can you holster it?
You can holster it. I held an X and you can holster it.
Oh shit! Yeah. So I never did that. I was just
walking
around town.
But I don't think that
there were
never really parts where someone was like, "Hey, put that gun away." There was never that. I was never challenged on
it. I did get shit talked once for wearing Marauder armor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I forgot who it was. Cool. They're like, "Oh, you're just gonna wear Marauder armor like an asshole."
I
was like,
didn't encounter any of that. But there were a lot of things like from the beginning you see all the perks and stuff, and it was like, oh, this is super in depth, but it's also simple. And the more I started to play, man, I just like the shooter elements. Like I noted that when you're moving, at least with the controller on the PC, when you're sidestepping left and right, your reticle or your crosshair as you move is perfectly smooth. And there is a gun sway as you walk, but like that was like super
it also
rigid.
Depends on the
other shooters.
It also depends on the on how leveled up you have your guns. And since we prioritize guns, our sway was less.
This was from the beginning. Like
yeah, but at the beginning that means if you picked ranged and you had the right stats, like what'd you do? Did you do like perception and dexterity? Perception's more long guns and dexterity was handguns.
What I was trying to say is that it just the controls
Because you could start off with at least like 40 if you wanted to.
If you're gonna compare the shooting feel in this game to like a Call of Duty or
definitely the fluidity of a Call of Duty is insane. That's the most fluid shooter you're ever gonna play.
Like this game was, you could definitely tell it's an RPG shooter. I mean, the shooting elements were fine, enjoyable, but it's if you've played Fallout, I would say it's definitely improved on the Fallout because Fallout felt clunky in a lot of the shooting. But for this, but here's the thing: there were certain elements with me when it came to the stat specialization that was like, it didn't feel that meaningful, and where it's like, oh, I gotta focus on this and that. I was pretty.
I felt like some of it was pretty meaningful, like how there was breaking points, like breakpoints in each stat. Like you couldn't upgrade your weapons by tinkering them unless you had at least 20 points in science.
Yeah.
And then even then it was more expensive, but the more you leveled up science, the more cheaper it got. There were damage bonuses on some of them. Like if you did science to about 60, you would get an extra 25% on like corrosive damage on your gun and N-ray damage. I never used N-ray damage.
I did it right at the very end, and it's cool, but it's a little.
It's like
weird.
Damage over time, right? It's like dots.
Well,
it's like a
also,
mini black
it's
hole.
also
kind of
contagious damage. So if you shoot somebody, it'll spread to everybody, which was really cool. But it would lower your damage by 50%.
Yeah, I didn't really use energy weapons that much. I did learn about, finally towards the end, I learned about the what the different I would call it enchantments, but like upgrades to weapons, like adding shock damage to your gun, adding corrosive. So the thing was, corrosive kills armor users, plasma kills flesh, so like a lot of monsters,
shock damage,
and then shock damage kills robots.
Yeah,
and then I don't know, N-ray was good against.
N-ray was good, I think, against organic things.
N-ray just sounds like a good time.
But when it came to like the customization of the weapons, like I used it occasionally to like when you play like me, and you probably play the same, where you just mash everything. Eventually I was like, oh, I have like 30 different upgrades for these guns. I didn't play on, I think I played on regular, not hard.
I played on normal the first way.
I think they said that was the way it was supposed to be played or something like that.
I wish I did it on hard, honestly, because it was very easy.
I would agree with that. I think possibly maybe the reason why I wasn't really enjoying a lot of the more customizable things is because even on the regular setting, this game felt like a breeze.
Yeah.
Way like
it felt
breeze.
So easy. I just like walk in like I was the man, just do. Okay. Mission done.
Like, I can't believe you finished the game and you don't even have companions. Okay, I was... So, here, let me explain something about this, by the way. When I got to the very end of the game, near the end of the game, there's a moment, and you can, as you're playing multiple games like this, you can recognize this. Oh, this is a gate. Like, for example, when they're like, are you ready to do this mission? And it gives you an option to, are you sure you want to continue and stuff.
They did that once.
You're like, oh, this is near the end of the game.
Yeah, when it gave me that,
like I was gonna be like, I'll do one more mission of the main quest, and then I'll start focusing on side quests.
So,
and when it got to that point where they ask you, all your companions are sitting there, and I'm looking around, I'm like, what's with all the empty chairs? And I'm like, oh shit, I've really been neglecting my side. So I said, no, let's do something else. And then for the next 2 days, it was all side quests.
Oh, you did a lot of side quests?
And
you
then,
went back for them?
And then I went. Well, there was a lot of them. But then by the time I was done with it, when I was like, okay, I feel like I've went, down those rabbit holes, and there was like one more side quest, but it was a real obscure one. I was like, that doesn't even look fun.
So
I ended up getting the game, and that one final mission, that was it. And I was like,
yeah.
Like, there's only I think 6 quests in the main quest.
Wait, we're not at the final mission yet. We still have to go through all the levels.
Anyway, getting into the companion
we're talking
part.
About the stat prior to
I want to. My point about is stats and companions. I didn't get until the very end of the game. The boss battle was hard for me, and then I realized, like, when I started going through my armor and stuff, I was like, I got to double check to make sure I have everything equipped correctly.
Yeah,
because I
that's when you started modding.
I started. I modded before that.
Okay.
But that point I really went and I had to check every weapon because I was like, I'm past that point of no return where you save, and I was like, I don't want to have to restart the entire quest over. And so when I went through, I noticed that there were these companion abilities. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Apparently, when you have companions, you can tell them to go, and then you can tell them to hold, which is up and down on the D-pad. But then there were these 2 other buttons, which were just your 2 other companion like abilities. I didn't know what abilities were. I didn't use them because I thought.
Well, I don't know because I didn't use.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, this is why This is like when you play through on Supernova, get a companion because I didn't know this until the very end. But when your companions are like special abilities, they're kind of like summons and shit like that. And so there was a point when I'm getting shot by that big robot. I finally said, well, okay, what the fuck is left on the D-pad? And I press it, and my 2 companions, 2 lesbians. I have like a lesbian army in this game, which is fucking awesome.
Hell yeah!
Like they're
badass.
And then I got this one girl who's having a crush, and I take her on a date with this other lesbian, and then I got another lesbian showing up with dreadlocks. And this is the one that I'm walking around. They both have body armor and stuff, and I'm like, this is a pretty fucking cool game. This is the gay agenda right here.
Oh, yeah,
lesbians with body armor and Gatling guns. And I literally pressed left on the D-pad, and this like one lady goes, ah, and just starts screaming, and pulls out this Gatling gun, and just a wall of bullets. And I was like, well, that would have been nice to know like 15 hours ago. But I waited until the boss battle to realize, some of these abilities are guaranteed staggers or guaranteed other things. Mm-hmm. They add a status, and they're awesome. And I'm like, I need to because I still only ended up having 3 companions, and there were a bunch more that I still didn't have. And so part of me wonders how much through my choices did I end up actually avoiding this game or missing out on this game because of my choices. But anyway, that was the final point.
Well, this will segue perfectly into the next topic, which is like perks. Yeah. What were your favorite perks? So like you have tier. So the way that the perk system works in this game is you have to put 5.
You want one of these?
You have to get 5. I think I still have half. You already blasted through the raspberry?
No, I just had 1 raspberry. It's okay.
Oh, okay. I'm stoked on the raspberry. So my tier list right now for White Claws goes lime, raspberry, and then I don't know.
No, black cherry. I'm a black.
I don't like the black cherry.
I'm a huge black cherry guy.
But so the way the perks works is you have to put 5 points in a tier.
Big fan of the
in
BBC.
a tier, and then you gotta once you do that, you can unlock the next tier, which you have to put 5 points in, and then the next tier is available. And there's 3 tiers, and also you only get a perk every other level. So your odd number levels, I think. Or no,
I was wondering about that because sometimes I get them, sometimes I wonder like, is there a
so your odd number levels, Okay. So you'd go from 1 to 2, and then 2 you just get stat points. 3 you would get a perk and stat points, and then vice versa.
Did you ever get a phobia?
Yeah, I've got an opportunity for 3 phobias, and I did take 1.
I really like that idea. That's
so
just
phobias
cool.
is like you're in a fight, and then this opportunity arises where they're like, well, you were like shell shocked, so now you're gonna suffer -2 dexterity for the rest of the game, but you get to pick another perk instead and kind of counterbalance it. I accepted 1. And then I declined 2 others.
That's what I did.
Because like the other ones in the future were like wanted to minus like 3 of my stats at the same time. I was like, I don't want to do that.
That's like, it's like, would you chop off both your legs for a good hairdo? It's like, I don't know.
Exactly what it is.
It's like, but one of them was like chop off your left finger. Well, it's not really chop off, but it's like, increase the shock damage from robots. One was like robot phobia. 20% plus damage from robots.
That's actually the one that I took.
That was
the
a good deal.
20% on plasma damage. To
I
me.
fucking hate robots.
I was like, I can handle it. 20% more damage. I'll dodge that shit. Easy. Okay, so
there wasn't any ones where it's like you're a racist guy, so here's this. Like intelligence,
like dialogue ones, like you lost all your teeth for being racist. And now you chew a big wheatgrass for some reason.
That's such a unique sort of concept that's added.
Yeah, I like that.
And it wasn't
really
done
cool.
at certain
points. It was a surprise.
It was
too.
randomly.
Yeah.
It was done.
Yeah,
so there's probably certain triggers of when you get a certain amount of damage from something.
When you just get your ass beat.
Yeah.
But
you know
don't
what?
die.
That would like.
How How'd you
It makes
feel
sense.
about? So what were your favorite perks? What perks did you like?
I just literally
1?
look. I immediately ran out of room in my backpack, so I was just like plus.
You
50,
did pack
plus
mule.
50, pack mule. I did
Pack
like 3,
mule,
and then
yeah,
I did
yeah,
one
yeah.
where it's like you could up the companionship, like with the amount of companions you have, it increases by 40. So I had like 300 kilograms.
Holy
And
pack.
by the end of the
mule.
game, I
You
had like
an army
30
of pack
games.
mules.
Yeah, I had like 30
An army
arms.
of lesbian pack mules.
By the way, lesbian pack mules, 10 stars out of 10 on Yelp or whatever I can give because
Worked out. I actually am the opposite. So since I
you
didn't.
hate lesbians.
No, I don't
Oh.
hate lesbians. I just didn't get an opportunity to bring them because I'd rather work alone.
Yeah.
So
You need to
as a lone wolf, there is a perk on the tier 1 tree called Lone Wolf, and because I'm working alone, my damage is
yeah.
increased by 25%.
I thought about that.
And I was like, hell yeah, because I don't want to micromanage anybody. I just want to fuck shit up.
Did you get a? So the reason why I think companions are awesome is that they have unlimited ammo. So if you just give them both of them grenade launchers,
They have unlimited ammo?
They got
No
covering
fucking
fire. You know,
way.
yeah.
That's pretty tight,
I mean,
actually.
I mean, how? I mean, that's. I assume they have unlimited ammo. What are they? What are they just like?
I mean,
Like,
I
they
don't
don't
even
pick
know
up
if that's a
ammo.
big deal, though, because, like, I ended the game with probably, like, 5,000 of each ammo. Like, I never ran out.
I was running out of ammo.
I
hard.
was a money man. I was a big looter, and I did pick in tier 1. There's an awesome perk that I also love. That's more of a novelty perk than anything, but it's the one that you can fast travel while over encumbered.
Oh yeah.
That one.
If I had
is-
another
oh,
perk,
I wish
would
I
have
had
used
that in
one.
Skyrim all the time. Like, I can't move.
I
And
gotta
then, like,
drop
take me to
these
town. I'm just like.
silver platters if I'm gonna go back to.
And
the
then
town.
now that I'm playing the game over again in Supernova, I did finally find out that if you have what's it called? If you have engineering, you can actually break down armor and weapons like without being at a workbench.
I think I had that because I was breaking a lot of stuff down.
Yeah, and I didn't know that before. And also you have like a 20% chance of like getting a mod after the stuff out of the stuff you break down.
I see. I definitely didn't play the easiest one. I thought I played on regular, and I
played on
felt like
regular. You played on
I
normal.
thought I played like I thought I was able to get. It was just too easy. Like for example,
It was
I had
very
that
easy.
perk,
Yeah.
and there were a bunch of other things, and with the companions and stuff. Yeah, man. That
Well, you
game-
had companions, easy mode.
but here's the like.
Yeah.
I thought that what you were supposed to have. Okay, so here. Okay, first off,
That is part of the game.
getting. I want to mention something about the companions.
But I don't even use companions in Fallout. I don't use companions in
See, I
Skyrim.
never used
I would
them in
never
that
use them
because-
I can't. I don't want to.
Well, in Fallout, they were really kind of buggy.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't
oh,
want
this
that
guy's
shit.
following me. Suddenly.
Skyrim was pretty cool with the
But even that was kind of.
Yeah.
Mass Effect had great companions because it didn't really feel like a companion. It felt like they were in your party.
Well, they were in your party. You would control them. You could cycle through and control them. That's different.
But I don't know. This feels
It's
so
like
much
the RPG
more.
thing.
This like that feels like a programming afterthought. Where this felt more like it felt like I was supposed to have the companions. You know, and that's why I was like, oh yeah, and I kept on to them, and like in Mass Effect when you have the companions, it felt so much more like I don't know, maybe part of the experience or something. Like for example, the reason why I like the companions in this game, and specifically the writing, is there was a part where there's this girl named Nayokla or something like that. She had dreadlocks and she was a mercenary, and there was a mission.
Oh, she was the one that was in the bar.
Yeah, she was
the one that was.
with the red dreadlocks.
Was it the
and stuff.
Iconoclast bar?
Yeah, the Iconoclast bar. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
she
yeah,
was
yeah.
there, and so what's really cool is when you
I
meet a
said no
companion.
to her too. I said
There's
no.
when you go down that path, you can actually fulfill your companions. Will give you a number of quests. So I went through and this is to get to know them. And there's a scene where like that Pavlotti girl, she has a crush on this girl, so you take her shopping to these different places and stuff.
Damn, I
pretty
hit
cool.
on her and she's gay the whole time.
There wasn't
Damn.
any I was looking around. Where's the fuck me selection? It
Oh,
was just you're a
actually-
nice guy in every one of them.
Actually, though, when I hit on her, on my Supernova character, I'm female on my Supernova character.
I don't know if there's gonna. I think they said the romantic options were removed from this game because
Damn.
there's a whole dimension of things.
They had their own hot coffee.
Dude, get on it, guys. Like, data mine that shit. But there's a level as we're going through. She mentions that she was part of an old mercenary group, and they were on this mission to clear out this hive, and no one ever heard of them since. So we go in there to find their bodies, and as we find their bodies, like, she takes like a medallion that they were wearing as part of this mercenary clan, and like, as part of the mission is as you find something, then you have to talk to your companion, and then go back and then talk. And as she's talking about this, of coming to terms with their deaths and stuff. No, there were parts where I was like, God damn. I was like, this isn't like clearing out the goblins from the cave. This is like really real shit, you know? Then there was another companion I had who was like the vicar of the town.
Oh wait, is that the religious dude?
Who's really, somehow I clicked the right thing, and he's like, you know, you looking for a mate? And I'm like,
you go find his book, and then you come back to him, and he's like, I can't spread the word here. I gotta spread the word with you.
I was like, come on. And
I said, fuck no.
No, but one thing about him, this guy has the millennial meltdown. He's like, I don't know what I want to do with my life, you know. And honestly, as you're talking, you're like, okay, this is kind of funny because like this, the subject matter in this story, in this game, and a lot of games I've seen recently, is they're really getting a lot more real with the story and the content. Mm-hmm. And in some of the stories, like for example, this Pavlati girl, when I was on her side quest and she was talking about, you know, having to go over her emotions with this girl that she likes, I was just like, I don't know, I was like, tell me about that. You know, I was going therapist mode on her, and I was like, you know, I was really trying to get information out of her, just because, and you could tell, and this is something that maybe a beef of mine was, the performance, the writing was terrific, but the problem is that the delivery is so, like, I don't know, maybe when it
felt robotic.
It felt robotic.
Yeah, it felt
like,
robotic.
Motion capture is becoming a thing in games to where now, like, if someone's going to talk to me about, you know, someone they're falling in love with, or a loved one that died, having them straight on as the camera, talking, looking blank. It's like, here's the thing,
and here's my.
I mean, like, that can be improved a little bit because the voice acting was terrific, incredible voice acting.
Here's my thing, it's like the same thing in movies, right? Where nobody ever delivers news like that just straight on to you. That feels weird. Most people try to avoid it. They're like, they do like blocking, right? They like move around, try to hide their face. Yeah. You know, say like,
or they'll think
like
this,
the soap opera thing, like.
But the guy will be like angry at you, and he never breaks eye contact.
Yeah. It's like, if somebody tells you like that, you're like, you're a psychopath.
Yeah.
You know?
Everyone in this game is a psychopath.
Fucking psychopath. Yeah.
But like if there was a moment where, like, I don't know, maybe some of the more quick time moments in other games where, like, as you're talking with somebody, if someone looks down, or it just feels more natural, that would be so much more immersive. But every time you talk to a guy, the camera zooms in and goes, "Hey, stranger, what are you doing here?" You know, and they're looking straight at the fucking camera, and you're like, okay, dude, you know, that was something that we're like 10 years ago, or I don't even know when New Vegas came out in 2010.
Shit, did it? Was it that long ago?
If, 10 years ago or 9 years ago or something like that, that would have been fine. Old. But I think, I don't know. I mean, maybe we're at the point now where it's like, maybe we're getting spoiled. Where it's like, I want some mocap with this story. I want someone. I don't know. Maybe that is. And then just thinking about imagining an animation on every character, it's like, yeah, that's gonna be gigabytes upon gigabytes.
I'm gonna backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I just want to share, because I didn't get to. I want to share what my favorite perk is in the entire game.
Tell me about that.
It is called Harvester, is what it's called. It is a tier 2 perk, and for every person you kill, you get 15% of your life back.
I think I got that one.
So you just start shredding dudes, and as you're getting murdered, you're just gaining health like as you kill them. It's amazing.
I did that one.
It's the best one.
And the TTD one.
So, okay, so that brings me into my next question, because did you really use the TTD? Or TD? Is it TDD?
Time.
It's TDD.
Tactical time dilation.
Oh, okay, TTD.
I used it every fucking
Did you
time.
Really? I feel like it didn't really last long. Like, you'd get like 3 shots off.
It's very brief. But here's the thing. Is like, when I would start off a skirmish, you get that first shot, especially TDD, sometimes you can get off 3 shots in quicker succession than like just without.
So those of you who haven't played it, it pretty much just puts the game in slow-mo a
Like
la
Max
Payne,
Yeah.
and just you get to like shoot people, and if you move like with your left stick,
it moves it faster.
You lose time.
To be honest, okay, so like this reminds me so much of the VAT system with Fallout, where you could pause the game and then choose a limb.
Yeah, but VATS you could take your sweet ass time. This one, it's like you have like 10 seconds.
I would say that VATS is almost too much to pause the game like that and then choose a limb. It's like
well, that's the thing.
You know?
That's the thing with VATS. So with VATS, it is a perfect homage or perfect modern day version of what the system was in the original Fallouts, because in the original Fallout you could specify where to shoot, and if you shoot them in the eyes you could blind them and reduce their chance to hit. You could disarm them. Those elements are in this game. Yeah,
I would shoot somebody.
You have to have skills and pistols.
I would shoot somebody in the head, and immediately a cloud would go over their head.
Yeah,
and I was like, that's a status. I'm like, that's cool.
Status effects. Yeah,
but I don't know, man.
But I think Fallout did it perfectly to how Fallout 1 had it before.
Yeah. Well, it was more of an homage, but I think Outer Worlds wouldn't make sense to have that VAT system.
Right.
But I think the TDD system, where it's, you don't want someone to have 10 seconds of slowdown time walking around like they're, Neo, but just having a brief ba 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 and then dodge and then move around of the way and then I run out of time and then boom. That's all I need, and with that, getting the perk where you add TDD every kill.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that. So like you get like refund on TTD time.
It would just increase that a little bit.
Yeah. The refresh rate, you would get like 15% more per kill.
It was just I noticed that when it would.
It was like Harvester, but for the effect, which is great. That's amazing.
To be honest, also sometimes there's so much like stuff going on that I wasn't like tracking where my health would go. Yeah, and I was just like going and I survived. Just
pop those freaking inhalers all the time.
Okay, first off, weird health delivery system. I mean, it's kind of funny because it's like I don't know. It looked like a vape sort of.
Yeah, it was like that shit from Mad Max.
No,
when they're sucking the silver shit.
Dude, I want someone to mod this game and have a guy like pull a jewel. And then 50% health, but then also like negative 50 or something else.
Did you understand how like the medical drug mixing stuff worked? Because I didn't really get into that. Because I know, so like you have your slot in your first. So you have your F key that triggers your inhaler, which heals you for like 25% of your health over 2 seconds or something like that, or 50% of your health. So then it opens up other slots where you can put in food and stuff like that, and it'll when you use your stim pack, it'll combine the other effects of the other things, so you get like a mega boost of something.
Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Yeah. There's a whole.
So I'm barely learning about this now because on the character I'm using.
They don't tell you that at all. When do they tell you that? And they get, hey, if you eat shit when you smoke, you're gonna get some good shit.
Yeah.
Like I noticed that, especially near the end of the game, when I was dying and only taking like a quarter of the main boss's health, and I'm like, I'm not gonna.
Oh, that guy was fucking easy.
It was so hard for me.
Really?
What level were you?
I ended the game like level 26.
I was right around that. I was like level 26. Now, once I used the companions and some of the other ones, I was
Lone Wolf, baby.
Easy. Yeah. I don't know how the fuck you did that.
For the boss, so the boss fight was pretty easy. It did take me a couple tries. So what I did was I ran to what I did was I ran into the side room where the droids were coming out of, and then I just let them all funnel into me and just.
Oh, see, yeah. I think at the time I was really low on some of my my plasma, because that's what I would choose as a shotgun, and so I had like a bunch of.
What were you using?
Oh, I had a big rifle. I used a shotgun near the end because that was great. It was a one-shotter for them.
I was using the assault rifle that looked like a Tommy gun.
Oh
the
yeah,
one that looked like
yeah. That's like
yeah.
I know those.
So I upgraded that. I tinkered that all the. See, I would tinker my weapons all the way.
Yeah,
up.
no, I tinkered the weapons too. Like especially for that, you could put in the you could put a scope on some guns, like and make the grenade launcher quieter. Like.
All right. Okay. Favorite gun? What's your favorite gun?
The flamethrower is probably the most effective, but the most fun.
No, yeah, your favorite. Your favorite that you liked using out of all.
There was a certain hunting rifle that was
Yes.
a semi-automatic that was just like pow, 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 but you could just go in and just dome some motherfuckers. You know, that was
cool.
But getting back to the medical and the perks and stuff.
Okay.
My first foray into that is right like when I was beating the boss and I was struggling. Like as I'm dying, I'm like I pause, I go to my inventory, I'm like, okay, let's drink a 6-pack of soda and let's
caffeinated,
let's
baby.
eat some fucking hand cream. Let's smoke some shit and let's eat an apple. And that like gave me all these perks to where, okay, first off, like if I beat the game and I didn't, and there weren't companion sort of abilities, I probably would have been like, that would have been fun. I don't know if I would replay the game on Supernova or something like that. But now I know that there are these certain companions, like these abilities, and I've only seen 2 of them, and there's apparently like 3 other companions. That
Plus,
we
there's
haven't
so
even
many
seen.
perks that like it rolled out half the perks for me because I didn't want to use companions. Like half of the perks were
all companion
trying to do
status.
companion stuff.
When I looked at that, I was like,
made
wait
it so
a
that
second,
I didn't have to like. Also, I didn't have to spec in leadership.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't give a shit
put
about leadership
I put a
because
lot in leadership.
I didn't have a fucking companion. I
You
didn't
know
give a shit
what?
about that.
I don't know. Part of me wants to replay and not play it with the leadership.
Lone Wolf.
But nah,
No?
dude. Like, no, seriously. Like, I dropped my controller when I was like, okay, what does left D-pad do? And I pressed it, and she just and just this boss fell over, and I was like, the fuck? Like, I don't know. I was kind of angry. I paused the game, and I was like, really? The whole fucking game? Because there were boss battles before that I kind of struggled with a little bit. I'm like, it would have been nice to know that this chick with the Gatling gun could have just mowed them all down.
Gone ham.
You know. But I'm
Rambo,
curious,
full Rambo.
I'm curious what the religious guy's like companion thing does. His ability.
He said he was good at
Gods of
They give you
War!
like they give you
May
like
your
a
hand be mighty.
synopsis. If you ask, they'll tell you like, I'm good at this, this, and this. Take me with you.
Yeah, he said he was really good at hacking, and I was like, oh yeah, we got a bunk bed. You know, and I never ended up using
Never
them.
used them?
Never
Yeah,
used
yeah.
them at all. You know.
Yeah. I didn't use any of them.
But to be honest, the more I think about that, there were 2 companions. What the fuck am I trying to say?
I don't know.
I didn't use.
It's always a mystery with Logan.
I didn't use 2 companions. And I still thought I was like, and this here's maybe this is a good segue into one of my beefs.
Okay.
Is that this game is very like 30 minutes into the game, there's like, here's this decision you have to make, and it's gonna change everything forever. And you're like, oh shit, which is the right decision? And sometimes you have an idea of what a decision's going to do, and then you do that decision, and then the opposite happens. And you're like, oh shit. Like if I would have known that this was gonna happen, I would have chose something else.
It's life, baby.
On sometimes, yeah, that's true. I mean,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like, it was frustrating that it's like, okay, I wanted to have the best ending, and I made this choice because it was like, oh, this is the safest ending. And then okay, and here's another thing. No, we could totally get into the idea of like when a game talks about being has multi endings. What does that mean? Like, for example, a lot of people were really mad about Mass Effect 3 because I just had a flashback. Mass Effect 3 was promised from the beginning, and a lot of people are still angry about that, me included. I loved Mass Effect. I thought it was one of the coolest series, coolest universes in, like, and that's another thing. And again, I'll go back to comparing to Mass Effect, but one thing about this game is that, what did you think about the major plot point in this game? Like the situation, the task at hand.
Like the main one?
Like the main quest. Would you just not about our big beefs or the length of it for sure.
Okay, so
but about the actual
pop it, baby. Oh,
grapefruit.
I thought the story was cool. I thought it was a good concept. You know, it's about reviving your other. You have to get the liquid to revive your fellow people on the Hope, which is a ship that was like left out in the middle of space. Right.
But it was kind of like getting into
because
it was
all
like
the smartest
when the
scientists and the
started
greatest
going,
minds
yeah.
are on the Hope.
I was
so
like, okay, but like in the beginning, like it took me a while to really go, oh, this is like the plot at hand. Like you get introduced to the corporation, the board, and all the people are like, oh my god, life sucks here as a factory worker. We work 7 days a week, and you're like, okay, like is it like, and then when you get to that, you're like, that's important, but like I don't know, for me, like it didn't really grab me in the way other stories had. Like Mass Effect, I thought was a great story because the first one was cool, the second one, but then you start to see there's this huge where it's like the end of the world's happening, and it was pretty much putting
Stakes
everything on
were
the line.
high.
The stakes were very high. And
yeah,
this,
but what was this Mass Effect 3? This is the third one. They had three games to get that.
I got very, very good point. But in this one, when they get to the very end of the very story, and I don't want to spoiler it,
Can we not? You don't want to spoil it?
I
want
want
to
to
spoil it so bad.
There's a point where they say there's a point where they say, well, this thing is happening, and I'm just like, holy shit! Why did you say that from the fucking beginning? Like I was like it was the part where like this universe is in the Halcyon universe, or in Halcyon galaxy,
yeah,
rather than the solar galaxy, and then they don't really talk about where Earth is or anything like that until near the very end, and it's like I feel like I don't know, I maybe it's just up to preference, but I felt like the main quest not only was too short for my taste, but right when it started to get good, it ended. I mean, but like
it got really good and then was like
right when you're like, oh yeah, let's go, we gotta do this one thing, and you're like, that's fucking it. But getting back to where, like, when you finish the game, your choices, when they say your choices matter and they change the game, partially that does change the path in the game, but also partially it'll do is just give you another screen at the end of the game.
Yeah. The end of the game. Can I ruin it? I think I can ruin it. But
well,
okay,
we're at 57 minutes.
Well,
if you don't want to spoil this game, just stop listening to the podcast now. We've gotten the credit for the view.
Just spoil it. Just listen to us.
Okay. Or just
I want to talk about the worlds. We didn't talk about the worlds. Like
I have a lot more. No, I want to keep going. We can do a 2-hour on this thing.
The locations, like, so
I didn't see all the locations.
So for me personally, I feel like the game, and this is a nitpick thing, but I feel like the game is like a pyramid scheme. Okay? Bear with me. It starts off very vast and feeling big.
This is definitely the best pyramid scheme ever.
And then as the game progresses, it just narrows in on the free roam, narrows in on where you can go. It felt more like a game that's like telling you where to go. It wasn't like Fallout in the sense that I could just pick up and travel wherever I want and do whatever I want. Find a random cave. I don't know what this cave is. Find it randomly and just clear it out and get some cool shit and have it be not linked at all to the main quest. But it felt like
it was on rails.
Everything was like on there on purpose, and it had to do with another mission. Like I would wander around, empty out a warehouse, and then go talk to someone and find out I had all of the stuff for their quest and just turn it in.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I did this shit already. That was just exploring, but I guess I fucking beat the game.
So when I go back to Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, there definitely were points in both of those games, particularly more with Fallout 3, where I was like, dude, let's go check some shit out. Let's find some shit.
That's my favorite shit. Checking shit out.
There's not once in this game where it's ever I'm like, dude, let's go wander over here. What's over that mountain? Let's go. That's never that. It's definitely. And also, when it comes to the quests, like, I kind of hate how spoon-fed the quests are.
Yeah.
It's like, go to this guy, and then they puts the arrow
right on
the guy.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want a fucking mystery. Yeah. Like, there was one quest where it says, that one Gladys character, it's like, she might have some information in her shop. And I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. Don't give me an arrow. Tell me to find some. So I started searching around, trying to sneak in and like stealing shit. And I'm like, I don't find anything here. And then I said, you know what? let me just murder these motherfuckers. And I just murdered them all, and I checked them. They didn't have anything on them. And so I found out that there's this gun that I was trying to find someplace else. Okay, first off, one thing I love about this game, and this is a game that's like I don't think this is a bad thing because like if this is the first iteration of it, I hope that they stay in this universe and they continue to expand upon it. Because one of the things that I realized about the game that kind of gave me anxiety was that there was the emphasis on permadeath. When the game says you can kill anybody, you can kill anybody. You can break the game.
Oh, and yeah. I have a lot about this.
There were times where I was like, right in the beginning, I was just like, this is a very important person. Let me just murder her. And I just blew her head off. And I was like, wow, that just like, breaks the game for you. And it's, at first I like it, but then like when it came to there, like certain choices in the game, I really I had to save beforehand and really check out because like, I don't know. I mean, this is a really good example of just like of a game really putting you in a situation where you really have to just, goddamn, what the fuck? You know, you really have to choose.
Kill him so bad.
Well, maybe, and that's maybe the kind of something about how I feel like the game could be improved upon is that a lot of times when there are certain choices, especially choices that are very, very permanent, like they only say, oh yeah, you can divert power to here or you can divert power to here. These people are going to be mad, but these people, oh, this is going to be inconvenient for them. And you're like, oh shoot. And then some people are like, oh, you're going to cut off our power. And they don't really go into full, like it would be really nice to know a little bit. Maybe this is me just, caving. But it'd be really nice to know the end result of some of our choices because I made some choices.
You do. At the end of the game, it recaps everything that went on.
Like, for example, there were so many choices I made thinking something would happen, and then something completely different happened. And I was like, what the fuck?
Because you're a sucker.
No, yeah, it was kind of like, what the fuck? And what I really don't like is at the end of the game, it essentially replays your resume.
Yeah, it's just a slideshow of everything that you've done based off of the choices that you made.
Like for example,
but
there's
it lets
10
you know
different
what
choices
happened.
that essentially are at the end of the game, and it'll just say he did this and he did this, and it's like, is that like for example, a lot of people, the reason why, and I bring up Mass Effect again, is a lot of people didn't like the way Mass Effect 3 ended, is because they kept pushing from the beginning. Every one of your choices matter and change the game, and then by the end of the game, it's just 3 different colors. At the very end of the game, and that was that felt like that. Yeah, fuck that game. That game doesn't deserve spoilers. But like at the end of the game, it like you really makes you go, really? Did these choices matter, or were these choices specifically like? Are these choices more about me experiencing more of the game? And that's kind of where it felt like. At the very end of the game, it feels like. Here's your rap sheet for the game.
Well, at least, I mean, the rap sheet thing,
I don't know.
for me,
I feel like it could be better.
It could definitely be better. It was just like
it could be better than.
Here's what you did. Here's a slideshow of what you did and how it affects everything.
Yeah.
We already have a predetermined thing of how what you did affects everything. But at the same time, it's like now that I'm playing it on Supernova, I'm going back and I'm doing the opposite of what I did just to see. It gives me some replayability.
How much harder is Supernova?
Supernova. Okay, here's my bone with Supernova.
So Supernova for the people.
Go into Supernova?
Let's go into Supernova. But do we have anything else we want to talk about?
I want to talk about the levels.
Yeah, let's go into that.
About the worlds.
Let's go into that before we.
I want to talk about how the worlds, because like the first 2 worlds that you go to, which I think is the Terra 2, the first place, and then you go to Monarch. Those locations that you go to feel so big.
Dude.
They feel
but not just big,
not just
beautiful.
super big. Yeah, but like
I was just looking around like, holy shit, look at this.
Yeah, because you're outdoors, you're doing like
what the fuck.
It feels bigger, and I exploited. So when I went to Monarch, the monsters were a lot harder than normal. Maybe that's because I hadn't figured out how to tinker my guns yet.
Maybe, yeah.
But. So what I exploited, there's a room where I could shoot them.
I was getting fucked up until I changed my armor.
Dude, there's a room where I would shoot them and I would run into the room and they would just get stuck on the door and I'd just kill them there. I totally exploited the fuck out of it.
But that's not good, man. That's not like Like
That's great.
it's good. It's good for you, but for in terms of like
Gave me 4,000 XP.
the game shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Like I think that's a failure on the game part. Even though you're like, oh, I don't mind.
They would shoot.
I don't mind.
They would shoot the particles, and it would get stuck on the. It would hit the wall and the door, and it wouldn't go in. I mean, I was just a good dodger, dude.
Son of a
I was just a
bitch.
good dodger.
You need to learn. You need to really learn the difficulty of what this game.
But those monsters were so strong that I had to like actually sneak my way to town because I couldn't deal with all of them.
In terms of the planets, like you look up, you see
Only on the
Aurora
second
Borealis. Yeah, but not only that, but like the trees. I look at the grass. I look at the plants. I'm like, I really, really, really like the design in this game.
Yeah.
But
I
like for
the design
example,
too.
on the loading screen, like how many times were you sitting through a loading screen and you're like, this is like BioShock.
Like beautiful like BioShock?
Like the art style. It was
I don't think it was too much like BioShock.
Well,
I mean, obviously, because it was like old world propaganda, right?
Well,
like,
the art style, like it was very much like the people who worked on New Vegas definitely worked on this game.
okay,
You know, you can definitely see when you see like the buildings, it's definitely Western kind of feeling. You know,
and the
that's what it's
music,
trying
the
to-
music had like that Western
Oh,
feel. It was like
yeah. The steel, the lap guitar and stuff. Music, dude. Okay,
Yeah.
I turned everything down to like 60 and kept my music at 100.
Wow.
I thought the music in this game was terrific.
I like how you'd just be exploring and it'd kick in just a random link like.
Oh, yeah. No, well, especially
It did a lot.
like-
Hey, it did a lot better job kicking in the music than Outer Wilds, because Outer Wilds would just play that same lick over and over again.
Okay, the Outer Worlds was like a team of 9 people.
I don't care.
But okay. Like they were both okay. I like how they were both about space exploration, but they were like completely different animals. Like
yeah.
but
We don't have to go into comparing.
You
We
can't
just,
compare
I just
these
wanted
two
to.
games.
I just
But,
wanted
like,
to hit on the
yeah.
music.
I would say that Outer Worlds by far is so much better than.
Well, that's because it's action
music.
and you can kill people.
Well, no. I mean, like I'm talking just about the music. The music is much more dynamic. It's much more dramatic. Where the Outer Worlds is more explorer, casual. You know, it was more unique, ubiquitous kind of a uniqueness.
You had to use your brain more.
But the Outer Worlds was like very storytelling. Where like there was a moment when. Like the quest where I'm probably gonna replay it and stream it or something like that. I'd love to play it on Supernova because it was a really fun quest.
So okay. Well, we have to keep talking about the levels, but I'll go into Supernova. After.
But the as she was talking about like how she was coming to terms with her friends' deaths and stuff like that. There was musical playing in the background, and I was like, this is some good shit. Like. I don't think we realize that game storytelling is really
It's drama.
It's hitting a whole nother level than we've ever seen before.
I mean, they hire like screenwriters and stuff to work on these things.
But
right?
I don't know, man. Like for the past like years ago, a lot of games. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I sound like a fucking.
Because some games
right
were
now.
like very melodramatic back in the day, and now they're like really.
But there's
stepping
a
up.
sense of seriousness on them now where I don't remember them having. Like I remember them always having a certain seriousness, but in this game it's like it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that the games are being serious for serious sake, but the games are they're just by default just at a higher level, a higher echelon of emotional maturity to where the game is very, very engaging in those moments.
Yeah,
And
I can see that.
And I think the writing in some of this, I was like, wow, this is really heavy shit. I was like really impressed with the writing. It wasn't like, it wasn't really, it wasn't goofy. Like there were moments where they were being goofy and stuff, and it was kind of this like perfect balance between dark and comedy. But there were some moments where I really, really liked the storytelling aspect. Maybe this might add to the reason why I'm kind of disappointed with the main quest is because based on some of the side quests, like the first one that comes to mind obviously is like, a woman trying to find out if her son's okay, and that's bullshit.
Oh yeah, what'd you do for that one? What'd you do for that one?
Oh, this was a fun one. Okay.
Yeah, I like that one.
Because and this is an example where this game does really, really well is because in Skyrim If that's a quest where it's like, I don't know where my son is. Can you go find him? And you go to another town and you find him. And you're like, hey, your mom's looking for you. And they'd be like, oh, okay, thanks. And then his character would run away and disappear. In this game, you find out and meet her son. And then you have like 8 or 9 different options of what to do. And what I did is I said, hey, if you don't go back and say hi to your mom, I'm going to go back and murder her. He's like, hey, what the fuck? And I'm like, listen, that's the only option you're given.
Hell yeah.
And he goes back and he's like, I'm never leaving my mama's side. And I'm like,
Dang.
that's
See, this is the difference between us. So I answered the same quest with, hey, oh shoot, your mom was really obsessive and controlling on you. So, yeah, give me your ring. I'll pretend you're dead. And just like,
oh, you
so
just lied to her?
I lied to her and said that he was dead, and I found his corpse, and I gave her the ring to prove it, and she was like, "Take your money and leave. I can't aboard." And I was like,
see, this is
hell
what
yeah.
creates. This is the
Hell
moral
yeah.
gray area. What is morally the good one?
Mine. They're just kidding.
Because, but here's the thing: it's like you lied to this poor old woman, and I didn't lie at all. I'm like,
yeah, because she's fucking crazy.
was she crazy?
I don't know.
They're
She's
all crazy.
she's just
but
fucking nuts.
I did like how I
don't
was
know.
like, I will put a bullet in her
Okay.
head, and he's like, no, you know, that was cool. And then when I got back, he's like, you're a fucking monster. I'm like, yeah, says the guy who just went back to his mom. You know?
So as I was saying about Pyramid Scheme earlier, because we're going into levels.
That's so mean
These-
to say about this game.
Well, it's just the levels start. So the first 2 levels are big, right? It's big,
Yeah.
but as the game progresses through the story, the levels that you
Yeah.
go to get smaller and smaller and smaller, until there's only one that you go to, and it's so on rails, and it's the end of the game. And it just, in comparison to like Fallout and stuff, and maybe we're doing it an injustice to comparing it to Fallout and stuff, and
No,
maybe it's its own thing.
Dude,
Maybe it
this
is more
game-
Mass Effect in the sense that it is like more on rails.
This
you know?
game is like Fallout as a total conversion mod, and I don't mean
feel-
that insulting.
But
I just mean
I feel
that
like
it's
it's more Mass Effect with
the
Fallout
TDD, yeah.
aspects, like a little bit more Fallout
this
aspects.
would be, yeah, I would say like if Mass Effect and Fallout were like, hey, you wanna
I didn't make that comparison.
fuck? Then this would be the baby.
Is
Really.
the Pineapple Express?
Because like there's the 1950s, 1960s Americana influence that's very heavy in Fallout. It's kind of heavy in this too as well, but it's not to the point to where it's almost nichey. Where Fallout's very in a vacuum, 1950s, you know, Galaxy 500 fintail cars, you know. This game is more of a little bit of
I want to say that
the loading screens, dude. The loading
screens are just the propaganda.
Well, here, another thing is that when you would see the loading screens and you would see an enemy, and then you would see like a cross section that would look like a Da Vinci photo, like, you know, like one of those things. I would every loading screen where it would show the mantis, and then you would see like the internal organs of the mantis. I was like, that's sick. But my only beef, and I feel like a fucking asshole for saying this, is that there was like only 2 or 3 enemies. And that, when you think about it, how many enemies were in this game? Different enemies.
There were
Marauders.
So there were marauders.
Different
There
types.
were like the
robots, different types.
robots.
The mantis, different types, which includes the worms.
primal beasts.
What's the oh, those are the dogs.
No. Okay, so there's the dogs that are like.
And then there were the lizard ones.
Which lizard ones?
There were the roar tracks or they were on Monarch, but they were kind of half lizard, half dogs. But besides all of that,
No, it's like the ones that are more like gorilla-y.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was on that Scalia planet. I saw that. So
No,
gorilla-
they're on the first planet too.
Oh,
They're on
really?
Terra too. Yeah.
Okay, so
They're
they had
in
you
the,
had
like,
the gorillas,
It's like cavey
you had the
areas.
dogs, you had the lizards,
Mhm.
and then you had the robots, and then you had the mantis, and then you had marauders, and that was it.
So my thing is,
I feel like this game could have just had a little bit more diversity. And
also my thing is, and maybe this is because I didn't rest at all during like during my normal playthrough, but the respawn timer for these mobs is long. Like when you kill them, it doesn't feel like they ever come back.
I would say that they probably don't come back.
They do. Because now that I'm playing on Supernova and I'm sleeping, they'll come back after like a few days.
That's probably Supernova. Because I don't.
But
think
I never slept in the normal mode. That's the thing.
I don't think so. Either.
Exactly. So I think if you sleep like, I'm pretty sure if you sleep like 3 days or something, they'll spawn again.
Yeah, that's another thing, is the fact that I didn't need sleep at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I wish that if there was a survival element more. I don't know how you eat and stuff to survive on Supernova, but
that's bullshit.
Is it really? Is it bullshit?
It's bullshit because it's like, so in Supernova, it's not that much harder as a game. It's just more annoying to play. It's just way more annoying to play.
I can't wait to play that.
Yeah, it doesn't add like this element of like, oh, these guys are crazy harder to beat. It's just, now anytime that you want to save, you have to go back to your ship. You have to go back to your ship to save, dude. And you have to, if you get a concussion or a status effect, you have to sleep it off. You can't. So, and the only place you can sleep
is your
ship.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, you can't sleep.
I might replay it hard.
It's just you have to just keep going back and forth. It's not much harder. It's just more annoying. And what annoys me of it is that like, you'll look at your status bars because it adds that you have to eat, you have to drink, and you have to sleep.
God damn, you have to drink. Was there even water in there?
Yeah, there's water. You can buy purified water, pure water.
Rare. I would only rarely see it.
You'll see it in the vending machines and stuff.
See, I only went to vending machines and checked guns. I didn't check anything else.
You know what's...
And now that makes me think, like...
All the armor sucked, by the way.
That's another beef. All the armor looked the same.
Well, I didn't care how it looked. The stats on it were shit.
I would just set 20, and then I would see some 30, and then see some 40, and I was just, okay, I guess that's it. But like
you never found any armor that was like, oh, this is fucking tight.
Well, like all the armor looked the same.
You never had any.
They had the same sort of flat head, and then they had like a couple like. By the end of the game, both of my companions had the same looking armor, and that was just what I came across.
Like, I guess these are my lesbians.
And it was, well, there was one that was like pink and light blue, and I was like, oh man, they're gonna get pissed because I'm using heteronormative sort of colors and shit like that. So I had to change back to like a dark green and a jade and a turquoise and shit like that, a darker turquoise. But they were fine. But like,
I never found any rare mods.
One of my favorite things in Skyrim, and especially Mass Effect, is when you like somehow stumble upon like, you know, the gothic dragon armor, and you're like, look at this motherfucker, and you look like a fucking villain in the Power Rangers, and you're like, look at this.
You look like Zordon, No, not Zordon, Zed.
But you got like fucking. You look like you're part of the what are those guys in the wrestling? I can't believe Animal, and you look like the fucking.
I don't know shit about wrestling.
Shit.
Power Rangers Zed.
You look like Shredder in Ninja Turtles. Yeah. You're like, look at this armor, dude. You know, and but literally every armor was the same. It was just this one just had higher stats, and the same with the guns.
Yeah.
Every gun was the same except for higher stats, and then it was like, oh, I got a. Here's another thing. There were some guns, science guns, which there was a gun where you shoot somebody and the enemy shrinks.
Yeah, the shrink rate. You find that in the the scientist place, right?
And then there was another one where it had a gun.
Or in your ship, you find it.
There's a bunch of different ones. Okay, here's another thing. When I finished the game, there's you experienced this too, where it says there was a robot assistant in the basement of the ship that the previous captain was working on. And that still sits there.
It's like a big mech suit. Yeah, the big mech suit.
I'm like, that's a fucking companion. That would have been nice.
Is it a companion, or is it like you get to go in it?
No, they're totally. It's a robot. All it is a robot, but it's not one that you go in. But like the reason they have that is because that companion wasn't ever utilized.
Did you explore the ship? I never explored the ship.
I explored a little bit.
I just looted it.
The next time I play, I'm definitely gonna get that guy because it's like that guy.
That'll be tight in Supernova.
Hell yeah, dude! Having a giant robot mech with you, but
it's just so annoying because like
there was a lot of this game that I missed out on because it's like I didn't really go out. But here's the thing: at the same time, I don't think I should have to go all the way out to find out the extent.
That's okay. It's good to have secrets. I think it's fun to have secrets. I think that's what creates replayability.
Like hot coffee. That's a secret.
Coffee. Oh yeah. You guys don't know what hot coffee is? Just Google GTA San Andreas.
We should do a playthrough. We should have we want to have Kieran on and have him do hot coffee and
We could.
force him. We'll tie him down to
He'll
the
be
chair.
so fucking
I'll be like,
weird.
you have to play hot coffee. And you have. Because I know, okay, of all the games Kieran would play, if I said you have to play hot coffee, he'd be like, no, I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to play it. And then I'm like, no, you have to play it. And then
I don't want to play that.
I don't want to play it. I don't want to play it.
Yeah.
There's too much nudity. And then he'd play it, and then he'd be like, this San Andreas is a great fucking game. I haven't seen Kieran in like 2 months. I miss Kieran. Kieran, if you're listening.
He fucking hates you. No,
Really?
just kidding.
I knew he hates me.
Um.
No, but I mean, again,
Okay, wait. So where are we?
final thoughts. We need to get
Wait, are we doing final thoughts already?
Well, let's talk about Supernova and then let's get to final thoughts, because I have not played Supernova at all.
So Supernova, you just pretty much, essentially, it's the same game,
but it's just more annoying.
but you have to. Yeah, the thing that's really annoying about it is you'll look at your meter and you're like, oh, okay, so I'm like 10% without food and 10% without water, and you've already lost stats. So when you're like deprived of water or food, you'll lose like -1 intelligence or strength or something like that. So you're like, okay, it costs me way more to unlock this box because I need water? I have to use 3 of these lockpicks instead of 2 because I need water?
I'm just thinking of like, make sure you drink your water. You might become retarded.
No. But
that doesn't like
I can't.
I understand making the game difficult, but doing that yeah, I agree. That doesn't make
It's
sense.
just more annoying. So you just pop a water or like an apple juice. In my case, I have like a lot of apple juice in my bag. And
Martinelli.
it just makes it so that you just buy Martinelli's, yeah, and you just have them handy, and it's like, oh, okay, I need a drink, just pop it. Okay, easy, done.
Mhm.
It's the most annoying part is going back and saving, because you'll clear out like 10, or not 10, but you'll clear out like 3 or 4 hordes of stuff, and then you're like, okay, I should probably go back and save,
Yeah.
or before I lose all this XP. So you can fast travel. The only place you can fast travel is back to your spaceship. So you can't fast travel. So you have to go all the way back to your spaceship and then walk to your mission again. And it's just more time consuming and annoying than hard.
Dude, yeah, because a lot of times your ship is not only you're not just in the middle of the wilderness, you're in a city and within the loading dock.
Yeah.
So sometimes if you
Sometimes it autosaves for you some places, but
Yeah.
the autosaves are a lot.
How far along are you
less.
in the Supernova game?
I'm still in the first world for the Supernova,
Yeah.
but I found a lot more side quests than I had when I started.
That was another thing. I feel like when I started playing this game, I didn't just jump in and just run off. Like, I really was like, okay, this is going to be a slow burner. So I tried to accept as many side quests as possible, but I still feel like I was like,
But here's the thing.
there's not that many.
Here's the thing that pisses me off. Fallout 4, per small town, you could find like 5 side quests.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, you could easily find like
Yeah.
2 to 5 side quests in a small town, and they have plenty of small towns everywhere. This game, per world, you can get like 3 side quests. Now, you're saying with companions they have extra
Yeah.
side quests, and I didn't use companions, but other than
But
that,
no,
it's
but
only like 3 or 4
There's
side
only
quests.
it's only like 1 or 2 more side quests just within that person.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, hey, there's specific story, and this is as you get to know the person. They're like, oh, my dad died on a planet over here, and they're like, well, let's go visit it. Oh, okay, let's go and visit and bury my dad, and that's a quest for them. That's essentially.
And I just don't like that there's not any places that you can just explore freely.
Yeah.
And
The world building,
just
because the world building, the worlds were so cool. I wanted to learn more. Like, I'm a lore. I wanted to get a little bit more into the lore, and it was like they set up. Well, there's this section. There's this Spacer's choice. There's the board. There's this, and they throw those factions out there, but they don't really like. They leave it so up in the open that they don't really give you any sort of. I don't know. It just something about it. It feels like there's so much, but at the same time, it feels like it's very watered down.
Yeah.
You
And here's
know?
another thing. Here's another thing about it that I don't like is in Fallout.
We've been shitting
or-
on this game since we started. But
In-
it's fucking great.
Yeah, exactly. I like the game. I
No.
think it's really good. It's just,
Yeah.
I'm actually a lot happier that I only paid $1 to play it than $60 to play it.
If you paid $60 to pay this,
Well, this would go more into final thoughts, but what I'm saying is another thing that bugged me about. I guess this is all final thoughts right now.
yeah, we're getting our final
Another thing
thoughts.
that bothered me
It's hard.
about it is
No, I mean
when you beat the game in Fallout or in Skyrim, you can continue messing around and just going to all the planets and just continue the
I
game.
forgot
Go
they
do
don't
all
have
the
that.
side
I was
quests.
done and I was like,
Here, you beat the game, and they're just like, oh, you recover your old character. It just starts you from the last save point before you beat the game. Like, that's it.
Wait, it does that in this game?
You can't continue. You can't play your character anymore. It's done. It
Oh, you
literally
mean
starts you from the moment, because I saved right before killing the last person. And if I go and I beat the game, and then if I go and do it again, it just starts
You mean
me.
you click continue, it just loads you into that last save.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can't play your main character after
And go explore the worlds
on
and
it.
just
Yeah,
kill things for fun
See,
and
like,
level up
I remember
on mobs. You can't.
when I see. I don't know. I feel like I'm at like a spoiled brat.
Okay.
Because I was like, first off,
We call
this is a great fucking game.
I
This
think
is
it's
a
fun.
great game, and when your biggest beef about a game is that there's not more of it, that's a good one.
That's a good
that's
sign,
a
yeah.
that's a good sign.
But I mean, it was only
really-
like 15 hours long.
See, to be honest, like okay, so
20 hours long?
Death Stranding is coming out tomorrow, and that's about an 80 to 100 hour game. And at first I was like, I don't even know if I want to do an 80-hour game. Honestly, when they go on, when they say online, they say Outer Wilds is between 15 and 40 hours. I beat it in 17. You beat it in what, 25, 26?
No, I only said 25 because I'm including my Supernova character who I spent a lot of time.
Wait,
on.
when did you beat it?
Probably like less than 20.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same here, less than 20. And I really was like, oh shoot, I'm near the end of the game. I
Yeah.
need to go out and explore. And I really had to be like, well, let's do the next side quest. Let's do the next side quest. I had to constantly try to really wring out this game. And apparently, even by doing that, I missed out on all of the health medical side effects part of it. Like there
were
were
so many like trees that I didn't go for.
Well, there was so many stuff in the medical that I was like, couple drinks of this trouble. I was like, yo, what the fuck is a potion? I know that you had those vapes, but what the fuck was that?
What potion? What do you mean?
Like I'm used to just health potions, and they had the health packs or the health kits or whatever.
Yeah.
They had those breathers.
Some of them would give you stats. They would give you a bunch of stats.
But there was never really one that was generic, like boom, health pack. It was like, this might give you 60 seconds of burn status, and I'm like,
and then you had like food. Food would just increase your total health by 25%. There was a perk that gave you 50% base health more, and I never used that one, but that seems pretty good. 50% of your base health increase, like that sounds.
Imagine if it was
pretty
a 50% of your height increase. You know,
You're
imagine if you were
just a
like
giant?
3 feet taller.
Jesus
You're like,
Christ,
that's a pretty
fuck
damn
that.
good perk.
No,
But-
you look like a fucking moron.
Like like again. Okay, if I paid 60,
Try
okay,
sneaking in the
so
bushes. Then you just fucking yeah, hello.
this fucking perk sucks.
It'd probably be good for melee.
If
swing.
that's another thing is that like you were never compelled.
I'm never compelled. In Skyrim,
to
I always
melee.
do the same thing: long range and stealth. Archer, I'm always like a thief kind of guy.
There was some stuff like Skyrim, especially Fallout. There were some like, dude, Fallout 3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Maybe I feel like I played that game on hard because
This game honestly made me want to go back and play Fallout 3.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like it
Oh
really
yeah,
made me want
dude.
to play.
On our computers now, would fucking max
Yeah.
that motherfucker out, dude.
Or
Play
New
that-
Vegas. I have them all on Steam.
I have.
don't
Well,
know.
I went to play New Vegas again like 6
know
months
3
ago.
didn't work
I
anymore.
played. I played for like an hour, and I was but
fucking do it.
no, I don't know. I feel bad because like I feel like all my critiques are because I'm a spoiled brat. But like no, this game, the graphics, I think first off, so I don't max the game out.
All right, wait. Before we do our super closing thoughts, I want to know, because I have something I want to say about this.
What else do you?
What is your most memorable moment in the game for you?
It was definitely doing the companion missions where the character, like, I noticed that when I was doing the stream, when I was playing it, I just did it for an hour, right in the beginning. I noticed that when I was playing the game, I was pressing X quickly. Like,
Is that like to skip dialogue?
Well, I was skipping dialogue sometimes, but I wasn't skipping dialogue in the sense that I had no idea what was going on.
You say X, and for me, that's like spacebar and E.
Forget.
So I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably an E. So it's like I skip dialogue, but I still tried to partake in like, okay, I understand what's going on. This is what's happening. This happened. This mining. Oh, these guys are rioting. All blah 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 blah. I did that, but at the same time, the game felt like just super watered down. Like it not watered down. Watered down's a bad way of saying it. It felt super brief, and I just felt like there. I could chalk it up to my experience. I could chalk it up to just my playthrough, but like, I don't want to say, oh, you got to play through it a second time in order to really get the good shit. But the game is fun. The game is one of the best games that I've played this year for sure. And I would, if they were like, oh, we're gonna make a sequel, I'm like,
I really hope they do come out with DLC and expand on the other planets there. But like the way that the story was,
there were a couple planets.
There was like 4 planets that you don't get to see.
I don't even go to.
Yeah.
And I don't know if those are planets that I didn't go to at all.
No, there's definitely a lot of planets that are just never used. There's one planet that you never get a mission to, or you get one mission to. It's the one where in the rich town
I didn't do almost anything in that town.
In the rich town there's the one where go do a tour of the galaxy and then come back and you'll get a hat. So when you do a tour of the galaxy, you go to this one planet called like Scala or something like that.
I did that one. That was when the monkeys are there.
And if you go outside of the outer ring, like the barrier thing, you just start losing health by the second.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So because one of the tour things that you had to click on is outside of the barrier. The second you step out of the barrier, you just start losing health by the second.
That's awesome.
Like the whole atmosphere is N-ray damage or something like that.
I think it's clear that there's so much of this game. Actually, I don't know.
Wait, before we move on, I need to talk about my favorite moment.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right.
So my favorite moment, just to end on that, was that, I don't know, it was a companion piece. I mean, there were a lot of moments where I was like, look at the fucking graphics. But in terms of me going, holy shit. Like the satisfaction I get from a game like this is not the same satisfaction I get from The Last of Us or a game that's like Uncharted or something like that, where I don't get a real big emotional payoff. I've always viewed these games as more of a grindy sort of like, look at all my merit badges, or look at all the shit that I did, or look at all the cool shit that I have. I viewed it more than that. But this game had some of that, but also had, wow, this is kind of a really fucking heavy story. This is really good voice acting kind of shit. And I had that twice, and it was both of my companion stories. And that's mine. So
my favorite moment in the game,
hot coffee.
I went to, the planet where they're like, you're going to finish the game. Right.
Okay.
And it gives you the warning, like, is there anything else you want to do? So I was like, oh shoot, I want to go
when
finish
you get that
all my side quests. And so I go back, and one of the side quests is in the rich town, and you go to the clothing store, and she's like, I never seen like poor people clothes. So if you can come back and model for me marauder clothes, spacer clothes, and iconoclast clothes, I will complete a quest for you. Now, this is after I've already progressed through the game, and my reputation with that town has gone to shit based off of the choices that I've made.
Oh, yeah. Same here.
So I go back to that town because I finally got all the clothes to complete the side quest. I'm like, oh, I'm so stoked. I'm going to go. And I get there, and I am public enemy number 1 at this point in the game.
Same thing happened to me.
So literally, I land, and I'm like, I just want to do this quest. I run, I dodge people, I run, and she just starts opening fire on me immediately, the person I got the quest from. So what I do is, keep in mind, this town is called, what, Byzantium?
Byzantium, yeah.
Byzantium, and it is the most rich, snooty. Yeah. It's Beverly Hills in space.
Yeah. I didn't explore that at all.
Do you know how satisfying it was to just get shot at by these people, and I just pull out my gun, I pull out my assault rifle, and just I literally murdered this whole town. I murdered everyone in this town. I killed they didn't stand a chance. They didn't know I was level 26.
Yeah, dude.
I was fucking them up. Since they were rich, each fucking body I looted had like 100 bits on them.
Oh, yeah.
And I was getting loaded. And then I go to the last level after that, and it's like, oh, well, none of this money you collected means anything because this is the end of the game.
Dude, I had like 15 grand at the end of the game.
Dude, I had like 30. I shit you not. I had so much fucking money.
Yeah, no, okay.
I'm a hoarder.
I feel bad. Okay, so like if I want to make sure that anyone that's still listening to this podcast understands this is a really good game and you should play it for sure. If you've liked any of the Fallouts, this is a must play. But at the same time, as people who've played the genre and stuff, there are some things that are like that could for sure be improved. For example, Byzantium didn't take a single quest. I didn't explore that town. I think there was one time where you had to do one quest, and then there was another
3
time
quests on there
where there was one where I had to go to that clothing dealer, and I had to get some clothes.
That's the one I was just talking about.
But no, this is when we had to model it. I just had to go buy some clothes. But the problem is that I showed up at the same time. Like, I get off the ship. I'm like, wow, what's this planet? And then it was just like, hey! And then they pull out guns, and then people start shooting me. And I'm just like, and this is maybe another beef. Yo, what the fuck did I do in this game where everyone hates me at this town?
Well, like, because you fucking shit on the board or whatever.
Well, like here's the thing.
Shit on the rich people.
The thing. When that happened, okay, but when did that happen? What planet was it? Where was I at? Where this got set in stone? And I was like, I didn't know that an entire planet was gonna hate me. That's something that I'm like, yo, if I show up at your planet and you greet me with guns, it's like, yo, you got to let me know because I wouldn't have fucking made that same choice last time, you know. And but then again, it was kind of cool because it's just like, okay, we got to fucking fight our way through this town, which was fun. But at the same time,
I murdered 2 towns,
dude. It felt broken to me. Like I felt like I broke the game. I was like, is this proper?
I just want to ask something real quick. On the first town, did you set the power to the main town or to the botanical garden area?
So first off, this is just like Fallout 3. Just like in Fallout 3, you have a town that has a nuke in it, and you can choose to blow it up or you can choose to disarm it.
Yeah.
And I've never blown it up. I've always disarmed it. And so, but that game, that choice right in the beginning of the game will affect the entire game.
Yeah.
And as soon as that happened, I was like, oh, this is Fallout 3 all over again. So and I'm like, well, I gotta Google what the fuck will this do.
Oh, you Googled? You know? You're such a wuss.
No, but I didn't. No, but here's the thing. I just Googled it quick, and I was like, okay, understanding how consequential is this? If this is obviously consequential, and I have no problem with it being consequential, I just want to understand the scope. Is this gonna ruin the game for me if I fuck up, or is this gonna be like,
you're worse?
This is fine. This is gonna change the coat of paint. So what I did is I actually chose to divert the power to the town instead of away from the town.
Oh shit! Okay. Hell yeah!
And then when everyone started freaking out,
corporate
like, you
slum.
fucking killed us! You fucking killed us! I actually chose that all of the refugees or the people who left the town would move back.
Yeah.
But they would only do that on one condition, is as the guy who's head of the town steps down.
Yeah.
And he stepped down.
You convinced him to step down? Damn, so you did like the best ending. Me, I
The guy, no, at the end of the game, they're like, Reed, step down from the town.
And committed suicide.
And only lasted 2 days in the wilderness. So you're like, oh, that guy fucking died out of that?
Hey, fuck that guy. He's a dick.
Fucking awesome.
I did the other way around. I sent the power to the botanical garden area, and at the end of the game. Wait, before the end of the game, I went back to the town and I told Reed the news, and he was like, what'd you do? And then the whole town started turning on me, so I just murdered that whole town.
Oh wow! But like
I'm a town murderer.
There's no nuance.
Every corporate town. I just
why do
murdered
people
them.
attack you when you take the power away from them?
Well, some of them.
Maybe we
all
can
right,
talk
so
about this.
I'm gonna just say I was on a spree killing everyone, and then some of the residents were kind of just in the way, and I was like, I might as well get experience from you. Get closer to my level ups.
I just loved being able to put my cross on a guy. Go, can I kill this guy? Pow! Wow, I can.
Well, I never holstered my gun, so I was always doing that.
No. No, like okay, so there were a couple times where like I had a grenade launcher and I'm like, oh, let me save the game right now. You know,
yeah. Quick little. See, on PC you could just do F5 for quick save.
Oh, is that?
And then F9 for quick load. So
really,
yeah,
just
I would F5. It's so
F9.
quick. You hit F5 and it's just like saving. It's immediate. It's so good. You don't even
Yeah.
have to go to your stupid ass menu.
Well, like even the loading screens for me, few seconds.
Well, SSDs.
Is that what you have on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick.
I don't know if I have this game on an SSD though, but I still load super.
Yeah, I loaded
fast.
it pretty fast.
But so in terms of finishing this podcast and finishing our
hey, thanks
summary,
for being with us this whole
our
time.
summary to the one guy from Pakistan who follows us. Thanks, Amar.
Thank you, guys. Or guy. Or woman if you're a woman, or whatever you are. I'm sorry.
I'm
I
not
love
gonna
you.
get political.
I'm not political.
Getting so the graphics, it's kind of to split down the dimensions of this game. Starting out graphics, I have a 2070 Super game. Kind of when I max it out, the game slows down. Super. Don't forget that.
Dude.
But the game, even on it, when you play it on medium or whatnot, game is beautiful. Game is one of the better looking games I've seen.
All right. Don't even just sum all of that. Sum all of that stuff.
Get that fucking moving.
Sum it.
Music's cool.
Sum it up. In like
story,
a big, like, what do you feel about it? Sum up your feelings.
I like the story. Bummed that the main quest is just so fucking short. If you play the game, as soon as you get the option to control, don't even fuck around with the main quest. Do every single side quest and talk to every person you can and go do any quest that you can from them before doing the main quest. The controls, I played on controller and I loved it. I mean, a couple times I played on PC when my controller was fucking up with the Bluetooth, but dude, it was. Oh, I loved it. I mean, it wasn't because the game doesn't require sniping and shit like that. It's fine with the controller. I mean, I can do
hunting
sniping.
Rifle, hello?
No, but you can do that and it's fine. The control is fine. Gameplay, dude. This game, and I. It sounds like I'm insulting it, but I don't mean to. The game is Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas in space. You take Fallout, you mix it with BioShock, and you mix it with Mass Effect. If they had a threesome. And somehow that threesome could create a baby from 3 different genetic makeups, I would say that's the outer
Pineapple
wilds.
Express. But Pineapple Express is supposed to be better. I don't think.
But in terms of replayability, so normally I'm not a guy. I played Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas like one time through on both. I wasn't a big replayability guy. I might play Supernova again and replay because I kind of do want to explore, but at the same time, part of me wants to just Google and just see, hey, what did I miss out? You know, it was a great game, but at the same time, there are so many other games to play now. Like, if I end up going, oh, well, I gotta go Red Dead Redemption or Death Stranding or something else. Like, there's so many other games now that's like getting 15 hours out of me, or 16, I think, or 16, or whatever I am. I thought the game was great. There is replayability, but it's not quite the same level as Fallout 3 and New Vegas. It's still it feels like, God damn, like if they doubled that main quest, like I would normally use the main quest to then go to another. I thought this was going to be very Mass Effect-y, where you play one planet, do the main quest would then lead you to the next planet, and then you do all the side quests there, and then once that's all done, the main quest takes you to the next planet and all the side quests. But for this, it wasn't that. It was really, there's a main quest, a couple side quests here and there to other planets, and then the main quest would take you to this planet, and then suddenly you're at the end of the game. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel bad shitting. I feel like I'm shitting on it. But
it's fine.
It's a great game. I think it's an 8.5. That's an
8.5.
That's a strong,
hell yeah.
and that's a high number. I'm a guy who's I don't throw out 9s easily because I think an 8.5 is a good game. Should you play it? If you're a Fallout fan, you should absolutely play it for sure. That's no question for me.
Okay. Well, here I go.
You go, oh man, he's gonna just destroy this game.
No, I think it's a great game. Oh, you know what I wanted to talk about too, which we didn't.
We can go into that before you go into your final talk.
No, but the one thing I didn't talk about is I'm normally the biggest thief ever, and I did loot all the houses and all of the loot ever, but I did not pickpocket at all.
Same. No, I didn't. I
and you can pickpocket,
but I didn't
never
steal. I looted everything.
I want to try again. I want to pickpocket.
Well,
I want to see how that mechanic works.
Okay, so I didn't normally pickpocket, but there was one time where I crouched behind a guy and I did like a lockpick on him, and then I saw him, and then I didn't see. I was like, "Oh, this guy's poor as shit, so fuck him." And then I just didn't take anything.
You take those lockpicks; they're expensive.
Like,
in Supernova, so in the normal game, it only takes like one lockpick to open something. Supernova, you need like 4 or 5 per open. It's fucking bullshit.
That's not going to be possible.
Yeah, it's fucking.
You're really making me want to replay this all over again.
All right, so my verdict on this game is. I really like the game I really like the game only because it's the only thing like this. This is my favorite type of gameplay. This free roamy, do what you will kind of thing. However, it didn't meet quite the expectation that I wanted it to. In the fact of like Fallout and stuff, and the fact that with Fallout I could literally ignore the main quest and just roam around and do whatever the hell I wanted for so long. There is a reason why those games are my favorite, and I can be honest with you here and say I've never done the main quest of those games, and it's my favorite game because I don't have to do the main quest. This game spoon feeds you, and the analogy or the comparison to Mass Effect is completely relevant.
Mass Effect it's more Mass Effect-y than
because Mass Effect
Fallout.
Because
Mass Effect spoon feeds you.
Yeah, Mass Effect is false free roam.
Yeah.
It has you on rails the whole time. And this game is first-person shooter, Fallout, Mass Effect on rails, pretty tight
game. Kill the main guy in
I'm
the
just
beginning.
saying, like, it is... It is. It's not as good as Fallout or Skyrim or those games to me. And for me, I would give it a 7 out of 10. What it does right, but it just doesn't hit the spot that those other games hit for me. Seeing that those are my favorite type of gameplay games. However, this definitely does satisfy me, although I am very, very happy that I was that you told me about Xbox Pass to play the game versus spending $60 on this game.
So, in my repeat of that question earlier, that was way too early. If you spent $60 on this game, how would you feel?
I think I'd feel let down a little bit. I would feel like the game didn't.
But for what you said, right under 20 hours for $60, that's a good fucking deal.
So if you compare it to going out and drinking, that's a great deal. Because I could spend $60 in like a night.
I think 16 like so when people come down to like what is a game worth it? In my opinion, if what is the number? What is the number where you're like, okay, this is a good deal for me?
I mean, I guess a 7 out of 10 should be worth
Fuck yeah. I mean, I'm surprised you went that harsh on it. I mean, okay.
Really?
I went 8.5. I mean,
yeah, 8.5 is good.
8.5 is good. Well, I think it did everything well. I to be honest, my issues with it are more.
It's the first game I finished in a while.
Yeah,
but that's only because it was so fucking easy.
Yeah, if this game was a 40-hour game, I wouldn't be done with it. I would still be like, oh,
I would like to have some more,
but
free roam ability.
But knowing where the game ends, I'm a guy that likes the main story. It's like, okay, you have a story to tell me. What are you gonna tell me?
But at the same time, here's the thing. Here's my thing with this now that I'm thinking about it more, now that I'm 4 White Claws in.
I think we got 5 more minutes, by the way. We're almost at 2 hours.
Hell yeah.
So I think we can
Well,
keep
we had a
within 5
bathroom
minutes.
break for a couple minutes.
Well, it's going to be like... Don't tell me about that.
Oh, yeah, we peed. I mean, we did not pee.
We peed.
I mean, there's a random cut in this. We're probably going to cut this, too. No, okay. So here's the thing. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. You son of a bitch.
Sorry.
All right. Wait. I did have a good point to make. Oh, okay. So, yes. So, I spent like 16 to 17 hours to beat the game, right?
Yeah.
Skyrim and Fallout main quest is about the same amount of time. Only like 15 hours to beat. But think of all the hundreds of hours of gameplay that is left in the world afterwards.
I don't know. Maybe it's a college thing for me because I played Fallout 3 in college, but like maybe I feel like I put in like 100 hours in the game before.
Well, that's because you're doing all the side quests. But if you focus, if you just tunnel vision to the main quest, that's 15 hours.
But at the same time, there was so much more. See, now in this game, there were faction quests, there were side quests, and then there were companion quests.
Trust me, I tried to get them all, except for the companion.
But when I hit that point where it's like, are you sure you want to continue the game? You're like, oh, this is the fucking end of the game.
Yeah, and it happened way too fast.
Blown away by that. I was like, geez, I thought there was going to be like 5 more quests.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And so, like right when it started to get, we're like, okay, like, let's be honest. On the first quest, you're not well-versed with how the world works. You're not like, oh yeah, the Iconoclast and the MSI. The MSI, they're gonna be fighting against each other, and you gotta.
Did you help? By the
there
way?
was a little.
You helped the Iconoclast?
I did.
Me too.
I don't know. I liked Graham. Graham seemed like a nice guy.
Fuck Graham. Graham's a piece of shit.
I liked his haircut.
Didn't you see that he got all the people murdered?
Wait, what?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
No, when did he
You find out on the computer or something, you find out that he's the one that gave the codes to the other people to have all those people murdered, which got them in this situation in the first place.
Yo, dude, I want to start out and I'm going to just fucking murder that guy.
Yeah, I went with Zora and had him, we killed him.
I didn't kill Graham, but I
killed Graham.
I had him,
Zora and
I had him sit down and Zora took over.
Oh, we fucking murdered him.
No, but I remember Zora.
I shotgunned him right in the face.
Me. Yeah, I gotta shoot that guy.
I love shooting,
dude. No, but but here's the thing. That idea, like, I had no idea that was even possible.
Yeah.
That
you
needs
find
to
that
be
information
more.
out?
Well, no, I found it out, but for some reason I was just like, oh, let's go with this guy.
You could still leave, even though you're.
Well, it was either between him and the MSI, which was MSI was very like, oh fuck those.
Fuck
guys.
the MSI, yeah.
So I was gonna definitely go with the guy with the weird haircut and shit. But
you want to wrap it up?
Let's wrap it up.
All right.
So I think this is I mean I think this is a great game.
I think it's worth a play. I think you should play it. Yeah.
So even at $60 though, I think it's worth a play if you've played the Fallout games for sure. But even those,
I would buy it used if you have a console. I would buy it used.
Well, if you're
I would
a
wait for
patient
a
gamer
Steam
like
sale.
us, if you're a busy person, you don't have much time.
But it's still very good. If you're itching as bad as I was for like a Fallout or Skyrim,
this game hit the spot.
It did hit the spots. It didn't meet the complete expectation of those games, but it definitely felt good playing it. And it was the first game in a long time that I've actually played and wanted to thought about it throughout my day and wanted to go back and play it. So that's good. But it was all over way too quick, and that's where I leave off.
My final point is, did the game really need to be called The Outer Worlds? Really? Okay, The Outer Wilds kind of, it works with that game. Outer Worlds is like, yeah, you could have changed this kind of called the Halcyon Uprising or something like that, or called it Halcyon. Just called it Halcyon after the universe.
That's pretty tight. I like
and
that.
that would have been like, what the fuck? Because Outer Worlds it sounds redundant. It sounds like I don't know.
But Halcyon sounds like you're just pigeonholed to that galaxy. What if you want to go to another galaxy in an expansion?
See,
then you're fucked.
I actually really am interested. I will follow Obsidian where they take this game.
I will. If there's a DLC, I'll most likely play it.
You know, I'm not a big DLC guy, but one of the few DLCs I'd ever bought in my life was the Fallout 3. They had the Alaska one, and then they had a one with aliens.
Wait, Alaska?
And they had one where you fight the Chinese in Alaska.
What?
Definitely wouldn't happen now.
Crazy.
But no, it was a small little called the Brotherhood of Steel or something like that.
Oh yeah, Brotherhood of Steel. Okay,
and I remember playing that, and then I remember playing there was another one where an alien spaceship landed. But one thing I noticed is that when you're in the Fallout 3 world and it's one map, okay. When you open that up, I remember at the end of I forget, there was something that happened where you were able to open up every single, like, waypoint, every single sort of quest, every single thing, and you opened up the map to where you could see everything. And I remember the map being filled with shit. And that's something that you don't really see nowadays, and at least in the outer worlds. Outer Worlds is much more real, it's much more minimal, but if you could give me that sort of Fallout experience with just almost limitless feeling quest. Now
that's what I need.
That's what I need. The problem with the Fallout 3, maybe the reason why they had so many quests is because some of the writing on it also was left much to be desired. And so with Fallout,
I just want to loot stuff and be the best.
Yeah, I don't know. I just loved being able to loot.
There wasn't a lot of weapons either.
Yeah. All the weapons were very much.
There was like 10 weapons, and
not
it just
even
like
that.
regurgitated.
I would say 4 or 5.
Yeah,
and they regurgitated, but at the same time, like
also the mods. The mods weren't. The mods. There was like
plus 10% damage this way.
The 2 barrel ones was either fun, you'd get 25% more crit, or your silencer. Yeah. That's it. And then there was like, oh, okay, then you can just change what type of bullets you shoot, either plasma, corrosion. Like, I heard rumors of these rare mods, but I didn't find them at all.
You know, yeah, and also the science gun. Like once you start to realize that the world kind of works in this way, where it's like, oh, some of these guns may do almost cartoonish sort of things.
Yeah,
it was like, oh, that opens up the whole world to a completely different dimension of things. But it doesn't really jump. It doesn't really expand on that. You know, I don't know. But that's it for us. If you've stayed for this whole thing, man, you're a fucking
you love this
nerd.
game, or you love me, and I love you too.
No, but really, I give a thumbs up to the Outer Worlds.
I give it 2 thumbs up. I think it's great.
For 7?
But like, I mean, here, one half a thumb. One half a thumb. One thumb and a half a thumb. There you go. All right.
You don't want to throw.
7's good. It's average. It's fine. It's great.
Like, it's kind of like losing your virginity when you're in high school. You know, you don't want to fuck the 7.5 and be like, oh yeah.
All right, fine. I'll up it to a 7.5. How's that?
You want to fuck the 8.5 guy?
Never gonna give it an 8 though.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that I don't actually. I mean, my biggest beefs are the it's just the game is it long enough, and maybe the choices don't explore. Like, the game wasn't buggy like it was in the Fallout games, and it was just like,
I'll take bugs any day for more quests.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I'll take a couple more bugs.
That's a podcast
Those are funny.
for another day.
Yeah. Well, let's wrap this up.
Let's go. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care.